Are you hearing that buzz or no?
No.
No buzz.
No? Oh, that's great. All right. All right, Bang Bang. Welcome to episode 12 of the Dave Portnoy Show with Eddie and Company, presented by Taser. Make sure to pick up a Taser Strike Light or a Taser Plus. Dave, the Taser Strike Light, it's a rechargeable, high-powered flashlight that can repel an attacker through its electric stun feature. It literally combines a flashlight and a stun gun, perfect for on the go, walking your dog, walking across campus, walking home, walking from home, except everything you need a taser for.
Yeah, and in this crazy world of ours, probably good to have. So, and I know we say it every time, but they requested to be the sponsor of the show. They're a big fan of the show, so we want to support them. You get 15% off with the promo code Barstool at taser.com. Some states do require a permit for use, and Taser products cannot, which you want, means it's real deal. Taser products cannot be purchased for personal use in Hawaii or Rhode Island. You can now buy one in Connecticut. What does that say? Riders preferred?
Riders preferred. They're looking for a hype group.
They're looking for riders?
I guess so. I guess they want the hype group.
Like, all right, Rico, well, get you guys going there.
Go check out Taser. Defend yourself is the same things that law enforcement uses. So
Can't be purchased in Hawaii. I will say I had an all-time, like a girl who I very rarely get my breath taken away by, like a girl who slides in my DMs, but this one did, and she lives in Hawaii though. It's like what are you gonna do? She's
How
like
long is that flight?
She's like a surfer in Hawaii.
How long is that flight? Do you know?
10 hours.
I mean, so you wouldn't make if she's that good, like 10-hour flight. That's doable.
First of all, you look like a crazy person flying 10 hours, but yeah, it's always the way. It's always the way.
How was the past weekend? You just got back from Miami, right?
Yeah, it was a lot. Paul was there. It was fun. It was a good weekend. It's just a lot. And Paul is, he's just the worst. Like, he's such an eye guy. Like, he wanted us to go out Sunday night. I have so much, he doesn't have to use his brain, doesn't have to work. First of all, he's supposed to film 5 pizza reviews. We did none. And then we're supposed to, I got to be back. And it's like, we very nearly went out Sunday night because there's this huge, Sunday night's this huge, like, party at Kiki on the river. I've never even been there. But it's a huge, like, everybody goes in Miami. And it's like, we're on our way to go. It's like, dude, we got 10 a.m. flight. I got work all week. I got important meetings, and my brain's like, you know what? We're not doing this. I got to go to bed. I got to get some sleep. But he is no good in terms of looking out for the best interest of myself or the company. He's only looking out for the best interest of Paul Golzinski.
What's the dynamic there? Like, was it like, hey, Dave, do you want to go to Miami this weekend? Or was it like, hey, do you mind if I hop in?
Do you mind if I hop
Paul?
in?
Okay.
He invites himself, which I'm fine with. He can come whenever he wants. He invited himself next weekend, too, I think.
Would you say, like, generally, besides, people from your hometown, like Elio or McShay, would you say Paul's, like, legitimately your best friend?
Besides my high school, like, yeah, the hometown, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So it's, like, no big deal then. If he invites himself to hop in, then it's like,
yeah, I don't really
guy
care.
In the crew.
Yeah, I don't care.
Gotcha. That's that's always interesting because he always seems like he comes back and it's like at what cost? He has a nice trip, but then he always come back with a story about him.
At what cost? I'd say he's benefited from his relationship to me as much as any human really ever.
Yeah.
Like he's an entourage guy. He's rich. He meets girls he would never meet a gazillion years. Like, I mean, he doesn't have to spend anything when he's with me. He doesn't have too much to complain about.
I saw in the rundown he had a good story about him and Grutman.
Dave Grutman bullied him and talked to him in a way that I love. So Dave Grutman, who's like Miami nightlife kingpin, we went to dinner with him. And so we stayed at the one hotel. It's like a nice hotel. But because of COVID, you have to they have like bracelets. and they were giving out, basically they look like you're at like spring break Cancun, they're just little, but you do have to wear them. They're strict with them. And it's just a pain in the ass. If you lose it or it rips, you got to go like give your ID and do all this shit to get a new one. Went out to dinner, sat down, and Dave looked at me. He's like, "What's that bracelet?" He's like, and Paul was like, "Oh, well, at the hotel you needed COVID." He's like, and Dave's like, "Well, it looks like you're on spring break." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but you got to wear it." He goes, "Take it off." And Paul just tucked his little dick between his legs and took it off like a little bitch. It was hilarious.
Well, where was yours then?
So I had a different type, and I took it off because I was there earlier. So it was complicated. I didn't have that type of bracelet.
Okay, so there was a difference there.
Yeah.
Would you have taken it off your Paul? You can't say no to Grutman in Miami. You can't say no.
I don't know that I would have taken it off when I was talked to in that manner. I would have had to do something, but it was pretty funny.
Did Grutman say anything about the Kardashian video he was in?
Yeah, he's just like, "Did you see it?"
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was a great TikTok. I feel like every time you go, you're invited to something big. You're either on the boat or you're at some art fucking gala or something. Any big celeb story, anything there that you ran into?
No, not really. The 11 guys are very nice to me and take care, so I go there a decent amount. And went to Dave's spots for dinner, but no, nothing crazy, I would say.
And then I did see that Gaz tweeted he was trying to get ahead of it. It was probably like 2 a.m. over there that he took a picture with the Chainsmokers and you like unloaded on him because he took a picture with them.
Well, he's just such like a try hard, but he's like a girl on social media. That's who Paul is. And I've said that forever. Like, Paul is a legitimate girl, the way he uses social media. Like, he makes little stories of himself. And, I don't follow him because I hate him. Like, I literally don't follow him on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, he's a girl. So he's very like, he's the type, how girls take picture of their food and like he'd do that. He wants everyone to know what he's doing. He's very like, so the Chainsmokers and I have become like friends. So they were there and they were hanging out and they'd come over and say hello and whatever. So they came over to say hello to me and Paul grabs him and sticks the camera in his face and like, "Hey, say cheese." It's like, dude, act like you've been there one time. It's Barry Sanders. Act like you've been there one time. So it's like, you're so fucking lame. Like, honestly, if I went to say hello to my friend and their buddy was like, did that, I'd be like, "Oh, this guy's like, come on. Give the ball back to the ref."
What kind of Dave was it though? Was it like, "Dude, you're so fucking lame," or did you get the face like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
No. It's just like, I wasn't like mad. I was like, "Dude, you're so fucking lame."
From one
and I
friend
said
to
right from like, what? It was Drew from the Chainsmokers. Dude, how lame is this fucking guy? But Paul wants to put it out to be like, "Oh, I'm the coolest guy." Paul is very concerned. I mean, there's not too many people, I don't think, but I know because people have told me, like, he has like a close friends group on Snapchat and like Instagram, like a bunch of groups, like different people getting different snaps and Instagrams. He's just a girl in that regard.
And then one friend to another. Your friend Elio is on quite the heater on social media, in my opinion.
He's tweeting. He's getting into it. He's doing a lot. I think at one point I saw him like advertising a competitor of ours.
Was he?
Yeah. He's doing. He's talking about the mass lottery. He's doing his horse picks. He's got like, people are saying he's getting shortchanging people on his subs. The 12-inch. Yeah, he's feeling himself on there.
Well, because someone must have wrote a Yelp review or something, because if people don't know, Elio's your best friend, childhood friend. He owns a pizza place in West Roxbury, Mass. And people are saying that his subs were not 12 inches.
Yeah.
So he did a video and he put the ruler out. He put it on. He wasn't like, his mask was falling down. And people are like, "Oh, that's so gross. Your mask is out and the ruler's touching the bread."
Yeah. And I comment, I'm like, how that doesn't prove anything. Like, obviously, if you're going to do this test, you're going to make sure it's 12. What is that? What does that prove?
He might be losing his mind, but then he put on like a whole hazmat suit and he measured it. He's like, "These are for my kids. They could eat the tape measure bread," but I'm enjoying it. And I've said it to him on Twitter, and I've told you this before. It's my goal to do a live show of this from Tony's place.
One day.
It would be something.
He'd have
But
anything he does too. He'd have merchandise made. He'd have like the restaurant would be packed with his extended family. The number one exchange Elio and I have is he always invites me like to go. You know, he rents a place in the Nantucket now for like a month, and he's got his kids and extended relatives. Like, hey, come by the pool. And it's just like, dude, I'd rather die. Like, I'd rather die than go hang out with 5,000 little kids running around. And it's like, no thanks. So I won't see him in Nantucket. He'll be like 45 yards away, and I won't even fucking see him.
he doesn't like sneak away for a night and hang out with you?
No, not really. Not Nantucket.
I just love the black dry fit polo he wears with the collar all over the place. I swear it's the same polo that you guys wore in the pizza review 7 years ago.
Yeah, the Tony's Pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is Tony's Pizza. We do the same thing. I don't care that
you didn't even call me. I can't believe you didn't call me.
I don't care that the guy who made it and owns it is sitting right behind me. I don't care that I was in his wedding and he was in mine. This is going to be honest pizza review.
Oh, I'm not nervous about the pizza review because I know it's good pizza. So whatever you say, unless you say it's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I can't have you talking during my pizza reviews if I'm being honest. That was me talking to the camera. So here we go. A lot of cheese falling off of it right off the bat.
It's hot.
Real hot.
I told you it was hot.
If we're being honest here, it's a 4.
What? All right, get out of here.
An honest pizza review. I had to bust well. This pizza's an 8.5.
But anyway, some big news broke today about Howard Stern signed a new 5-year deal with SiriusXM. We kind of covered this on a past episode, but big deal. I saw some people report it's for $120 million per year, which is up from previous years. But the word is they might get the library for 7 years after he retires. I don't know. Regardless, this is 20 years now. If I'm getting, north of 400 mil from Sirius, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean he's one of a kind, and they wouldn't be paying it to him if they didn't think they needed him or like he deserved it or was worth it. He is serious to a degree, obviously, like the face of it, all that stuff. So. You hear like a Joe Rogan got what, supposedly like $100 million from Spotify. So I guess it makes sense. Like they're in a business. Unlike Spotify, you got to pay subscription for Sirius, and so he's kind of got him over the barrel a little bit. He does. It's crazy. The one thing I don't know is I've always heard he owns so much Sirius stock that, if he left, it would hurt his own stock unless he's gotten rid of it. But I don't know the details of it. But clearly they think it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a monster deal. And obviously that brings me to kind of where we're at because the clock seems like it's really ticking on Barstool and Sirius. Is there any latest there?
I think Erica is still talking to them, and it has shifted from my understanding of that offer where I was like, it was so insulting, it's not even worth discussing, to maybe an offer that we would consider from what I've gathered, but I'm not intimately involved in the discussions.
So this is the third update. The first update, I think, was week 3. You said there was a 99% chance. No, the last time you said 95%, you cracked the door open a little. So it sounds like
I'd say 80%, 75, 80% no. But I'm not that involved. They'd have to pay a shit ton of money because we're bigger, and I don't mean any individual, but Barstool Sports is bigger than Joe Rogan, and it's bigger than Stern. It just is, like, with everything that we have. So if you look at the numbers they're getting, it's going to have to be significant dollars.
It's absolutely bigger than Stern. It's bigger than Rogan altogether.
Correct.
You mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because his show is just a monster. No one show can compete with that.
Monster. But we have, like, monsters. Like, we don't not have, like, Call Her Daddy is a fucking monster. Part of My Take is a monster. So, Spit and Chicklets, I don't know if I'd say monster, but it's like it can beat you up. So, and then we have a lot underneath it. So there's stuff there.
I just saw what BFFs is doing on YouTube, and that's pretty fucking impressive.
BFFs has a chance to enter monster category.
Pretty damn big. And then but Rogan is like he's got his guys, and it's
Rogan's a monster. No doubt. I'm not like putting that down. It's just we have a lot more than just one show, obviously.
Yeah. What's interesting about Stern too is when he first signed that deal in 2005, he was 52-ish already. You know, like when you put that in perspective, like does that make you think like?
Well, no, and it's also, and I know you work for Stern, and you know him better than I do, and I don't listen intimately, but he's not like working as hard as he used to. I don't think with it, isn't he? Kind of like dialed it back a little bit, or am I wrong about that?
No, he definitely has. He only has a live show 3 times a week, and he has multiple weeks off throughout the year. Now, his staff behind the scenes, what people don't know, they work their dicks off. So where it's like, hey, you said, oh, I don't have the people I need under me. Like those people are in the office 5 days a week, you know, getting the show ready for, you know, next week. So yeah, he's a lot more.
Right. So that's part of this. And I'm obviously involved in the serious deal isn't getting done without me like putting the Dave Portnoy stamp on it. Be like, yep. Okay. Because I know I'm going to have to be involved in it. I'm not going to be involved in it. I don't believe in the way Stern is. I'm going to have to move to like 5 days a week, prep, like commit, kind of like what I did with the pen. Like when you give me enough money or a good enough deal where I'm like, yep, you got me. Like you get me. I don't half-ass it. So if they're going to put a number that's like, yep, you got me, you're going to fucking get my best shot. And my best shot knocks everybody out. So but you got to fucking make it worth my while because that's a huge commitment for me.
Yeah. And listen, I'm sure, and you know how it is too. People see what you do on air. People see what you do around the camera. There's a million meetings I'm sure he's attending like you're attending
right
after the fact.
Totally.
So it's not just one thing, but we'll keep it moving. Before we do though, let's talk about Mack Weldon a little bit here, Dave. Obviously, when it comes to buying holiday gifts for the guys, I'll be the first to admit it's not my strong suit. But now, thanks to Mack Weldon, it's super easy and simple to find something great no matter which guy you're shopping for. Whether it's Mack Weldon's warm knit tops, undershirts, or Sunday lounge pants, Mack Weldon has men's basics that are guaranteed to keep everyone on your list comfortable.
So I've been wearing them for pizza reviews, and I'm actually a huge fan of the shirts. The shirts, the sweatshirts, I'm a medium, but I like them. And I'm like a basic guy for the most part, even though this hoodie right now, also Grutman, the Prince is fire. But yeah, I wear it. So that's when you know something's legit, when I keep it in my rotation. So when the gift giving season, get 20% off your first order. Visit MackWeldon.com/Eddie. That's you, Eddie. Enter promo code Eddie. MackWeldon.com/Eddie. Promo code Eddie. 20% off Mack Weldon. And it is good stuff.
Definitely. Oh, I just breaking news here. Michigan, Ohio State is canceled.
Nice. Yes.
Wow.
Does that supposedly fucks Ohio State?
Oh yeah. I mean, well,
because no, Ohio's. You still think they take them?
Yeah, there's no rule. That's what everyone's saying. Oh, well, they're going to take them with 6 wins. There's no rule on you need a minimum amount of wins.
Oh, it's trending right now. You know, Harbaugh. Yep.
I saw Dan say that there's an extension birdie. There's rumors.
I've heard that.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't necessarily think they're going to dump him right away, but an extension. I thought he was extended. And that's why they couldn't get rid of him.
They're going to figure out a way to play this game. Anybody who does, or not Michigan, but Ohio State is going to figure. Ohio State's season is not going to end because Michigan was too chicken shit to play him. And by the way, we're too chicken shit to play him. Like, and I'm happy with that. Like, we're so bad. I'm a diabolical dude. Like, this is all is fair in love and war. You can go out and lose by 80, or you can give them a big headache. I'll give them a big headache. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, but it's fucking. It
like,
kind of throws a whole.
I know Fat Ev is running around this office right now, and he's like, oh no, like so. I'm happy. Good. We shouldn't play them. This is your only move. You have no other move. You can't beat them on the field. You can't play competitively. You embarrass everybody every time you play them. I said cancel. What? canceled. This is war. This is a chess move, and it's your only move.
You can't beat them. You can't join them. Just throw fucking golf balls in their gas line.
Correct. Like I would cancel 5 years from now and still blame COVID. Be like, no, COVID, we're out.
Man, it's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of pissed off people.
Ohio, they're gonna be calling us every name in the book. Fine, I don't care. It's better than saying we lost by 80.
Me big. The college football show should be really good. When you guys are taping tomorrow.
Yeah, tape tomorrow.
Should be very good. The Big League came out with an article. They named you the most polarizing sports personality of the year.
Loved it. First of all, I don't put much credence into any of that stuff. But yeah, I saw Simmons was what? The most like
he was best overall.
Which is crazy. To say he had more of an impact last year than I did is lunacy.
I want to say they took his Spotify deal into account there.
I also did a little deal.
You did? They mentioned that too.
Yeah, so, I mean, my deal was worth more than his deal, and my deal has had far bigger ramifications across an industry than his deal. So there is no chart, metric, anything where he was more impactful than I was. That's just a fact. Not this year, at least.
Listen, the Big League, and I think you'll agree, they've been pretty fair with Barstool for a long time.
Yeah, for the most. It depends. They have writers who are fair, but are you saying Simmons is more impactful than I was?
No, I'm saying that they'd be afraid to put you in that spot.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, Outkick did, but if you just look at the span of things that I did this year, hand up. I won 2020 in terms of like media sport. I mean, the deal, we did the Penn deal. I took over Wall Street. The unboxing was fucking huge. The Caller Daddy thing reverberated like across the nation. Pizza. I mean,
Goodell auction.
I spanned his like. What did Bill Simmons sold his company? That's it.
Yeah.
Unions. I think was this the year that I I got sued by the federal government? Like, I mean, listen, I was everywhere. Oh, canceled. I mean, I'm everywhere, and it is ups and downs, and maybe that's the point of it. But I was the most talked about guy in sports media. I don't even think it was close, Eddie. I don't even think it was fucking close.
It's a big year. I don't know. Maybe you got docked points for that, I assume, right? But
I don't know. Maybe they do. I mean, they do say that in the articles. Then he got in trouble for saying racist things. It's like, at least be like quoting Ja Rule announcing that he was playing at your Super Bowl party 5 years ago. Like, when you just say he said racist things without any context of what was said, I'm used to it, but I like the context of what I said.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
It's fair. It's just, I don't know. Like but you got to know going forward. Like that's kind of what it's going to be, right? In some
I do
cases?
not care. I like that. Razor Ramon. I like being the bad guy, good guy, whatever it is. Our audience doesn't care. They know me. I always say that. It's the same. I've given this analogy a million times when people come in and they talk to me. But it's we did a reporter with, like, was it New York Times or Wall Street Journal? They came in through part of my take when they were hot to do a report, a full story on them, and then the guy turned it into more of a Barstool story. And he didn't like me. And in the end, there was a quote like, "I have a lot of friends who I consider liberal and highly educated in the Northeast." And I'm like, "Do you like Barstool?" And they all uniformly like, "Yeah, we love it." Like, how can you like this guy? I'm like, "Well, we've been reading him for 15 years. We know who he is." So people don't like me. I don't give a fuck about them. They can go fuck themselves. That's how I look at it. And I think actually everything that came out of getting like canceled and all that shit kind of put me back to much more on, I don't give a fuck about anybody. I feel like I've been slinging it more since then. Like, you know what? Some of the people that maybe we had here who I'm trying to dance around, it's like, you know what? If you don't like me, get the fuck out of here.
That's why I'm so like cautious to even, if you're not really consuming someone's content daily, you don't really know what they're about. It's hard to really judge them, right? Like someone like Jake Paul gets absolutely raked over the coals all the time. And, from my perspective, yeah, from what I see on Twitter and shit, he seems like a piece of shit. But at the same time, I see how people have reacted towards you.
Same.
And I've been following you for a long time.
Eddie,
I'm like, wow.
I'll probably get in trouble for what I'm about to say here. But I do that with Tucker Carlson. Because you want to say people don't like me. They don't like him times like a million. and I go on the show, and it's a huge audience, and then you always hear people how you do it, and just to protect myself, and he's been very nice to me, I go back and make sure, and I look at what things point out, and I never have found it. I've never found the smoking gun. I've never, I look at the whole context of things that he said and how it's ripped out, and I'm not saying you have to like him or agree with him, but I haven't found what everyone, I just haven't found, and people don't do that with me. It's like if someone just went and read, a Silberman article about me or Laura Wagner, I'd fucking hate myself too. But then you go dig deeper. It's like, wait a minute, like the Rhea example, right? When it's like you're going to be too ugly to be on camera in 5 years. Yeah, that alone is horrific. You get the context of it, and like people still, when they don't like me, if they see something like I do a podcast with Bob Saget, and it's like he said this about one of his employees below. It's like, well, Rhea fucking, I trust Rhea 100%. We have a great relationship. So you got to, do the research. You can't just believe everything you read.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Carlson thing is like association, right? It's like if he's associated with this guy, then why are you associated with him? Is that right? Or
yeah, well, they're like, you're going on like a racist show, but I have not found that to be the case. If I thought he was truly racist, I wouldn't go on the show.
Yeah, because you're saying right now, and I don't think you said that you do your research on.
Yes.
When you see like he's trending, like you're making sure, like, hey.
Yes, I go back and see what it is. And again, you don't always have to agree with it, but there's always far more context to what is being said.
Yeah, because that's a high point of contention.
Huge.
You going on that show.
Now, again, I do it because I think it's a huge opportunity and huge audience, and it is. He's by far the biggest news platform. He beats every other show 3 to 4 to 1. He's been super nice to me, and I also, but I do the research. Like if I'm like, oh, this guy's racist, I don't care how big the audience is, I wouldn't do it.
How can't we get you in NBC? On CNN?
We've tried.
They won't do anything.
Nope. They were interested in a stock show with me. They were like setting up a meeting on CNBC, and then the BLM stuff happened, and the old video resurfaced, and they canceled the meeting. They were like, nope, can't do it anymore. People are so scared. It's like, the juice is not worth the squeeze, It's like, although the juice is always worth the squeeze with me if you can withstand the heat.
Then what about another thing a lot of people lead to? Because, if you look at that, if you look at Tucker interviewing Trump, just going down the line, the coronavirus stuff, people like to throw you in this box, but then it's more so the people that kind of swoop in your mentions that are kind of, some people are fucking assholes, know? And I think that's where kind of a lot gets, thrown against you. And I don't know.
No, it's a lot of what I say now. It's the same shit over and over. But I mean, and I do tell my team, like, don't put, like, I'll go on a COVID rant or something during Davey Day Trader. Don't clip it and put it out because you're like, people aren't getting the full things. And again, the thing about me, which the people that don't like me will never admit, you can't put me in a box. Like a lot of things, and if we're using like politics or whatever, what someone's going to answer before the question is asked. That is not the case with me. Like you things that you think I may feel one way, it's just not true. I look at everything individually and how I feel about it. But like I've always been like, wear a fucking mask. Like that doesn't go ahead with the people. Like people should be allowed to make their own decisions. Restaurants open. Those are two viewpoints that are generally like not on the same side. But I had like an anti-Fauci rant, but then I had a wear your fucking mask rant. So, it is. People pick and choose, and you can't complain about it in terms of, oh, they're saying this about me or they're taking this out of context. That's the deal you sign. I've become a big enough personality where, if I'm going to still be out there and speaking my mind and saying I don't give a fuck what people think about me, comes with the territory.
And you can't put a fucking disclaimer over everything because then that's just...
And I don't fucking care anymore. I mean, I never have cared that much. It sucks when you lose opportunities or advertisers. But I'll sleep okay in my new fucking house, and like overlooking the water and, flying around the country and fucking having smoke shows like slide into my DMs. I'll sleep okay.
Yeah. It's just important for people to know the trajectory of it all. It really kind of started with KO Barstool, right?
Really? Yeah, that was the initial. I had never heard anything like racist, sexist, homophobic, none of it until KO Barstool, which for those, I'm sure most people listen to the show, but when we were doing the Blackout Tour, which was named for black lights, and it was actually fantasy sports companies like We Want to Get to Frats, I'd never heard anything about that until KO Barstool, a group of small girls at Northeastern, when we were going to Northeastern, were like, they're sexist. And they went through everything I'd written, and that's why the size 6 skinny jean. And ever since then, the microscope has been on us in a way that it hasn't been on a lot of companies that do kind of similar stuff.
And that's been where it was like, you keep fighting back, you keep pushing back. And then ultimately, I think everyone would get to a point where they're like, I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, I never gave a fuck. That was the problem. I never apologized. And I get, like, KO Barstool would say something about me, and it was so outrageous, I'd give them a sarcastic answer back that was so over the top, like a classic line when they're like, oh, they want girls to be, like, assaulted and raped. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, that's why you call it the Blackout Tour. And the Blackout Tour is the lights. And then I wrote a blog. I'm like, and it was so over the top. I'm like, I want to make this so clear. We love women. You can't assault women. We don't want women to black out. But, like, what did I say? If they're just like shit-faced, that's a gray area or something. But it was said in such an obvious joke, but they clipped that, and that gets used still to this day. So it's like I would just give them such sarcastic answers back because, like, they're so off the reservation. But then the answers that I was giving that were so, like, ridiculous are still used today. And I see them used against me. What are you going to argue with that? It's like, come on, give me a break.
So we're just going to bag it, call it a day. And then the girl on the microphone actually pointed at me. It was like, Dave. So it's like, all right, you want it? Here it comes. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to come down and say my thing. And what I was going to say is, listen, we're anti-rape.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's the replies now, man. Like, there's some weird people in there.
You mean like our commenters?
Not even the commenters, because commenters, it's like that's like Barstool people.
So what do you mean replies?
Part,
I don't know who you're talking
like
about.
Like on Twitter, because Twitter's just a fucking.
I don't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, well, it's quite the place, I guess. You mentioned Bob Saget. You did his podcast. Interesting find there. It sounds like we're in line for a Barstool frozen pizza.
Yeah, we've been in the works for that.
And you said 4 flavors: supreme, meat lovers, cheese, and pepperoni.
Correct.
Is there any like timeline here?
I'm not sure when. No, I don't. I mean, there is, but I don't know what it is.
Is this something where, like, it's going to be Dave's going to be on, like, home run in, or Dave's going to be on, or it's going to be straight up ours?
Ours.
Or yours?
Ours.
And then I remember last year there was news in, I think it was an eater.com article that you were opening up a pizza place in New York. Is that?
Yeah,
still
fuck those guys. Can we get that? That was an asshole who wrote that article. They released it and all that stuff, and they had all this information, and, you know, no one's probably called them to the mattresses. That's not happening.
Oh, so
it was in discussions. They prematurely reported it.
And it stopped because of that?
No, it was just they prematurely reported it. They thought they had a scoop. They didn't have a scoop. Yeah, Eater confirms Barstool Sports founders getting into the pizza business. Wrong. You were wrong. Eater, you're wrong. Fuck you, Eater.
What happened there?
Just never came about.
No.
I know.
You
choice.
Still want to do something like that?
We'll eventually have something, but this wasn't it.
Probably more pen-based, I assume.
Yeah, it could be.
And then I also saw Detroit Style Pizza Company. You tweeted something about it. The owner, Sean Randazzo, passed away because of brain cancer.
Sad.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him? Was that
No.
like a thing, or was just you just tried the pizza on?
It was actually an ad read from Goldbelly, and that's the pizza they chose. Frozen pizza, very good. Came different. Like, I remember you got a Detroit style swear you had to put the sauce on yourself, and it was very good. And, you know,
oh, yeah, crunch. Come on, Dave. Just everybody get it together. Get it together. It's quarantine day 7,000. Everyone just relax.
I remember reading the story. They were struggling, and it changed their business, which was great. And it's sad they passed. That has been, you know, the frozen pizza review and the pizza stuff was a nice little uplifting thing that we're able to do to help some struggling businesses during COVID.
This looks like a nice time to talk about Slice, Dave. Slice is the official delivery pizza
played.
delivery partner of One Bite.
Yeah, and what they do is they charge less to pizza places. Like all the different delivery apps take a bigger cut. They're not designed for pizza places. It's hard on the pizza place to give away that much money to the ordering place, but everyone's using it. So Slice came out just for the pizza places. So if you appreciate small business, the pizzerias, Slice is the only app to use. It's tied in with the One Bite app, so you can order right from there. Use the One Bite app. You can save $3 off your first order using the code Dave. Download the Slice delivery app. Again, use code Dave, $3 off your first order. If you appreciate small business, pizza, you have to use Slice. Don't use the other guys.
So we're 3 or 4 days out now since we did episode 11.5 about YP. Has there been any contact since
then? No, he hasn't reached out. I think that bodes very well. I know him as well as people know that I know him. Like, I always got along with him, liked him. He got called to the carpet. He handled it like an absolute baby. I think, did you see someone sent me that when YP's like, where are the receipts? Dave Portnoy is a receipt guy. And like almost a year ago to the day, a big focus of what this dispute of like, don't complain about not enough help, get it. And it's like, I had an issue with him in our review, being like, he just stopped doing social. And I essentially was like, that's not an excuse. Well, we'll pay somebody, we'll do whatever. Get it. I never accept that excuse. It was almost like direct opposition to what he's saying. I don't think it bodes well that I haven't heard from him or he doesn't seem to care. That's the vibe I'm getting.
So you're a little hotter on this than you were on Friday, maybe.
I'm not hotter. I'm not like upset. I didn't get as upset maybe as people think I would have. I was so tired when this thing came out. But I would say if we're doing the percentage game, and I'm not going to I don't think fire him, undecided. But I am going to bring other people in to help maybe run Barstool Outdoors. Like, I'm not just going to let him. He seemed to, and I did say, I don't think and it may be semantics. I think he was saying the decision was gutless. I wasn't gutless. I don't know if that's a semantics thing. But, like, I'm not like personally, I fucking hate him. He's gone. But he seems to think he owns Barstool Outdoors. Like, it's his thing. It's not. It's not at all. And I'm pretty confident there's a lot of very motivated people who could help take it to the next level. Maybe with him, maybe without him. I really don't know. I haven't talked to him. But not showing, and I don't know what he's doing, but you would have thought, like Jared Carabas is here today in the office. He's saying it's not because I ripped him for not being in the office at all, but it's because I ripped him for not being in the office. He's like, I better go show some face. Like, people who generally care about their jobs at this point would reach out, show up. He hasn't done anything. So he thinks he was wronged. I don't think he was wronged.
How did you guys have a conversation, you and Jared?
I just walked by him, like, I just snickered. I'm like, showed up because he was scared. He's like, no, I didn't. He's like, that's what Kirk said. It's like, yeah, you did.
So there was no in the office.
No, and that's the weird thing about YP. It's like whatever I originally said, and I was mad. I was very mad about the Black Friday stuff. It's not the first time I've gotten mad like that at somebody, and it generally comes and goes. Like, if you keep your mouth shut, I generally forget about it, right? His reaction made it 1,000% worse, and then not. So he clearly thinks he's wronged, right? I mean, he has to.
Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of people be like, "Oh, you think this is good content? Getting on podcasts, just ripping an employee." It's like, well, he kind of, I mean, of course, there was the Twitter stuff, but he put out the video. Like, you got to have your response, whether it be in video form or podcast form, right?
Right. Like, I was sort of over it. Like, it was a big thing, but the on Black Friday, and I was mad, and he admitted, I think, that he kind of didn't do the best job on that. It was almost weird timing when that came out because it was days after the fact. And I don't know, you never know. One thing I do wonder, Eddie, how people truly feel about when me and an employee or whatever is going back and forth, and maybe they hide it. I felt like most people are on my side, but you never know because I am the boss. I'd be curious on a lie detector test how people felt about
In the office or the general
office.
stoolies?
Like, what would your vibe be on that?
So I don't listen. Me and YP have always gotten along. I'm not there, so I don't have a close relationship with him to really know, like, hey, he did this like last year or last month. He's not doing it now. But, there was like probably 15, 20 people like, oh, how the fuck can you sit there and whatever. I'm like, I don't know what's like, listen, here it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If I sit here and talk with Dave, like, what am I going to do? Lie and just like throw all these like straw man arguments and like defend them just like to waste people's time, or just sit here and like hear what you got to say. So it is what it is.
So you just asked the questions because you just didn't say anything.
What do you mean?
Do you think I was justified?
Do I think you were justified to do what you did?
On every level, do you think I was justified to be mad at YP, to question YP? Do you think he was justified to do his video? Like, what was your take on that? If you were
yes, I said it on 11.5. We cut it down, so I think it got eliminated. But I was like, it started with the blues blogs. That's when he first popped on your radar. That was like cut number 1. Then it kept going. Then you weren't happy with season 2. He stopped coming to the office. So then it's a radar thing with you, and you get to like 5 blips, and then it boils over. And then the 5th blip was you weren't happy with his Black Friday promotion. You would have done that to anyone. You would have done that to me. You would have done that to if there was someone that had that many strikes in a row, they would have been in your fucking kitchen getting yelled at.
And the thing is, as we've said a million times, like, it's so hard to tell with him because he's never here. But what was very clear is I was like getting to the point of questioning what the hell was going on. So for him not to get that vibe and then act like this was out of left field, it's like it's been brewing, building, and culminated with something Black Friday. And he just took it super personal, almost to the point I do things with logic, like, maybe you fucked up if you take it that personal.
And then he, like he said, he loves the show. He loves being in the, the meat grinder. So he knows what happens here. If this was, if he was on here, he'd be talking about the next guy,
Right,
so
exactly.
That's just how it works. He made a video, you fired back, and you weren't even fucking that mad.
No,
it could have been way
crazy.
worse.
Yeah,
for him.
I didn't go nuts.
Could have been way worse. And I think like this is how it works here. Like you guys had it out. You didn't give a fuck. He called you gutless. So, I mean, if there's a way, there's a path here that you guys are okay and everything's fine.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe.
We'll see. Someone else you're mad at, we touched about it a little bit beforehand. Nadeau was angry about the Rico shirts being taken off.
What a dummy this guy is. Holy cow, Jeff Nadeau, one of the all-time fucking idiots. You got a bird in your hand, you fuck. Listen, the two guys who deserve each other at this company are Rico Bosco and fucking Jeff Nadeau. Holy shit, what an idiot. Like, we put your shirts on. Your entire existence is been, like, amplified because of this rivalry. And it's like we put the shirts on. I tweet to, and Dan tweets, the two biggest guys we got, to buy the shirts. And no one buys them. And I said, if we don't do $250, I'll take it down. I was trying to sell the shirt. I was doing what I could to get money into this company. Not enough people buy them. I take them down. He's like, that's disrespectful, or no one's told me. What are you, the biggest idiot in the world? How stupid. He's like, and then he hits me with, well, it's only been one day. Like, how do you not know? It's like, how do I not know, you fucking idiot? Because I've been doing it for a decade. And the first fucking hour to 6 hours is you tell. Just this guy's so dumb. He's shockingly dumb. That's the only thing, or just living on a planet that I can't exist. And then someone showed me a tweet. He's chirping me, I owe him $1,000, which I didn't know he did this tweet because he was in the house on one of the Glenny Balls bets. I haven't seen him since then. I haven't even paid Glenny. I just paid Youngstown Bob the other day. Trust me, I pay it. I know who owes. He's like, it's about the money. This guy, he may be the dumbest human I've ever met.
Should cancel their fucking football program. What a bunch of bitches. How the fuck are you canceling a fucking game? Play the fucking game. Have some fucking honor for your fucking program. You fucking losers. Fuck Michigan.
And there's no way he's going to last long with me if he's this stupid, because eventually I'm just going to bury him because he doesn't have much of anything for following or anything. I'm tweeting out his podcast. I'm tweeting, and then he comes at me. It's like, yo, you're the dumbest human ever. The dumbest. Right now, if I put the list of dumb people, not only at Barstool, but the universe, he's the dumbest, I think, I've ever met.
It was a misstep because no one gets in that to get a storyline that's not like, like manufactured and is just so like fucking real. To get tossed in and get that promotion right out of the gate is fucking rare.
Yeah, they're both idiots. The two of them are like, they need that show, Men of Honor, because I've never met two people who they live on their own planets. They literally live on their own planets. They have no clue what's going on. None.
To be fair to Jeff, though, as far as the $1,000 go, I saw him talking about Glenny. So was there an aspect here? Maybe he thought Glenny had the money and Glenny didn't pay him?
No, he thought it was about me.
Okay, because I saw him saying, I still never got the $1,000 from Glenny. So then I thought he was kind of
from the Glenny bet.
Yes.
I'm almost positive it's about me, not Glenny. Glenny hasn't gotten it. I haven't seen, like, Glenny, I don't know his schedule. I think he's running around doing the Sunday conversations or something. But, yeah. And Youngstown Bob just got the other day. And there's another guy at the house, Derek, I think maybe is owed. Trust me, I'm paying. I'm not paying. This guy Nadeau, he's been here for a fucking cup of coffee. He's the dumbest human I've ever met.
How did the Dion jersey play in Miami?
Grutman didn't like it.
Why? No jerseys at the club?
He just didn't think I could pull it off. I was self-conscious about it. It's crazy because Dion, everyone should know who he is. Some guys would be like, that's a sick shirt, but I think other people just had no clue what was going on.
And then I saw you tweet a picture. Was your dad down there too?
No. My mother sent me, because one of my dad's ongoing things is he can't sleep and he doesn't know why. And he's like, I don't get it. And he claims he doesn't take naps. But I would say 98% of the time he falls asleep watching TV. So you just got to click it, be like, there he is, not taking a nap again.
I also saw a clip on Kirk's show. He's like, yeah, my son, he's got an ego. He's like, oh, shit, are we recording?
How do we not have him on about that clip? He was trashing me. And then he thought he was off air, which makes it worse.
What did you think when you saw that? Did you text him?
No, I didn't text him, but it's like the arrogance of this guy. I almost want to be like, listen, old man, you have a radio show on Sirius because of me. There's no ego that could be big enough to get to. There's no way I could ever have a big enough ego based on the fact I gave my dad and my cousin Murray a show that is still on the air. Like,
I don't know about that.
The ego on him to be like he has a big ego when I got you a show on Sirius.
Dave, I think Mike and the Murddog has earned their keep. They're good content.
Get out of here.
They've earned their fucking keep.
And by the way, like, he thinks he's right about stuff when he has no idea what he's talking about in so many different aspects of life, like business, money. It's like, I love my dad. I'm his landlord. I've done like stuff, but I've been like, if you ask him a business question, he'll say he knows more than me. It's like, well, I mean, no, you don't.
Are you thinking of raising his rent?
He doesn't pay rent, Eddie.
Does he get paid for a show?
I think he does. I think Murray and I had a contentious negotiation at one point. It's like I don't know what to tell you, Murray, but you're not exactly in demand.
Do you want Michelangelo to try to get him on?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Try to get him, Mike. We needed a camera in 2 negotiations. We needed a camera on that one, and then Frank the Tank's negotiation.
I mean, the Tank. But yeah, I did see that clip. My dad trashing me on the air. And I honestly don't think my ego, like I've been the same, I feel, and I guess everyone says, I don't think I've really changed at all. Like I've always been kind of, you can't start this if you don't like believe in yourself.
Yeah, there's shades though. Like there's like tiers, I would say.
Do you think it's gotten bigger? The only thing that's gone bigger is like, and I don't want to keep going back to it because I know, but
yeah, it has to.
Like I was leaving the club at 11 after, and like the cocktail waitress, who was fucking gorgeous, like legitimately hit on me. Like legitimately. That, I mean, what? Why is that? Imagine that. Like at one of the hottest clubs in America, like the cocktail waitress. Like I thought it was a joke at first, and then she's like, I watched all the unboxings and stuff. I was like, holy shit. That will make my ego grow, but that's just like, but not in another sense. Like I don't think I'm better than somebody else or that regard.
Yeah, not like an evil genius aspect. Like not like I'm gonna fucking, I'm a power hungry dickhead. I think just in the aspect it's impossible for it not to. Like you said.
I've always used the analogy, like if we're playing the Family Feud and I was the head of the family, like I listen to other people's advice, but I've always, if I think I have a better answer than everybody else, I'm going with me. And that's never changed. That's always, I've been told since I started this company, you're doing it wrong. You fucked up here. Do it this way. Do it that way. What a moron. And I've listened to myself, and we've gotten here. So how can I ever question like my gut instinct?
That's why I think it's impossible for your ego not to get bigger, because there's so many Skype rundowns from before where everyone's like, what are you talking about, Dave? You moron. And then like it happened. So it's like, fuck you. Like, of course you're going to build more confidence and become bigger fucking, fan of yourself.
The all-time clip is after Hammygate. I'm on there and I'm like, one day I'm going to be worth like $100 million ringing the bell on the stock exchange, and this guy's going to be riding a bike.
When she's still trying to fuck like these guys riding bikes in like 5 years, and I'm on fucking ringing the bell on the stock exchange on like a yacht, I want... Yeah, I'd like to see her face.
And like that literally happened.
It did.
I mean, that's insane. Manifest your destiny.
It's crazy.
Yeah, my fucking dad. The ego's out of control. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Wait, am I on the air?
You think Kirk fed him to the wolves there?
I only saw the clip.
That's all I saw too, but it was funny. It was funny.
Is he not picking up?
I just sent him an email. I don't have his phone number.
Oh. Do you have his phone number, Eddie?
I do not have his phone number. I just go through email with him.
Okay.
Besides naps, though, you could use other things to kind of get yourself over the hump here, and that's DHM Detox, no days wasted. Whether it's football Sundays, you got the Monday scaries, however you're feeling a little down, no days wasted is here to help you maximize life's moments. Their hero product is DHM Detox, the vitamin for people who like to enjoy their drinks. Tens of thousands of people are using DHM Detox as their drinking buddy. Enjoy your drinks and forget the Sunday scaries, or in this case, the Monday scaries, and feeling like garbage. Just take 2 capsules after your first couple drinks, and it goes to work. DHM Detox uses science to help boost your body's natural response to alcohol and help break down those toxins. They're conveniently packaged, making them easy to share with friends and family. Also, they've launched their new hydration replenisher with immune support, a delicious watermelon lemonade electrolyte drink mixed to help you rehydrate, but also help your immune system with vitamin C, D, and zinc. Hydration anytime, morning, evening, exercise, or travel, paired perfectly with DHM Detox. As the days get shorter and colder, make sure you're thinking about your immune system, and Hydration Replenisher is here to help. No Days Wasted offers a risk-free purchase, so if you don't love it, they'll refund you on your first box. We've got you on 20% off your first order, 20% of your order, not even your first order, and free shipping in the U.S. Just head over to nodayswasted.co and use promo code Dave at checkout. That's nodayswasted.co. Enter promo code Dave. We'll wait for him. Some unfortunate news broke earlier this week. Hard Factor was not renewed.
True.
I don't know. I know Pat personally, and he's a good guy, but if you could take it away from here.
Strictly a financial decision. It cost a decent amount of money, It was losing a decent amount of money because there were a bunch of salaries and whatnot. You know, it was a huge political year, obviously, and it for whatever reason, it's absolutely no indication on their talent. By, I think, all regards, people liked them. They worked hard. But what are you going to do? Like, I mean, it really it was costing a good amount of money, and we gave it a shot. And that is kind of new Barstool in a way. And I've said that. It's like, we'll give you a shot. It's a little sink or swim. It was a long time. We put them on full. They worked hard without it, but we just couldn't turn a profit there. And whether our sales or whatever, the numbers, it just, from a bottom line, it was just strictly dollars and cents. And I wish them nothing but there's somebody that's like, if they turn around and become a huge juggernaut, I'd legit be like happy for them.
Yeah, because they had great things to say about Barstool. They seem like good guys, man.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, they were in the office occasionally, but it just, what are you going to do? It wasn't making money. And I've said it a little bit. We haven't renewed all these contracts. That was more like, I think it was another non-renewal case, you know, and it's not that, hey, we got to cut corners, but you can't just keep getting or hiring new talent if you're going to keep getting a much bigger content team and there's clearly drags financially on it. It makes it harder to give new guys a shot, you know? So it is, I've used it. It's almost where like a sports team analogy. You have your roster, right? And you gotta kind of balance the budget.
Looks like Cousin Mike's joining in here.
There he is.
Mr. Portnoy.
Hello. What'd they do wrong now?
Well, your finger seems to be blocking the screen. Yeah, no, you got to get your finger. There you
How's
go.
that?
Yeah, better.
You know, I had 2 seconds notice on this. I'm doing the best I can. Give me a break.
I don't know that putting the finger over the screen has anything to do with it.
I know.
Well,
How's that?
perfect.
What do you want to know?
Well, Eddie brought it up, but I saw you kind of trashing me when you didn't realize you were on the air.
When was this?
I don't know, like on the Kirk Minihane show.
You think I remember what I said on the Kirk Minihane show?
It was something to the effect, you're like, yeah, my son's ego has gotten out of control.
I might have said that. That sounds like something I would say.
And then followed quickly, like, wait a minute, I'm not on the air, am I?
I thought you were going to call me about my sleeping adventures.
No, well, we know that you're a nap guy, even though you say you don't.
Apparently I am.
Oh, that's a big thing to admit. So you think my ego is out of control?
Out of control. I might have said that. I'm not going to not deny it. I mean, you have a big ego, which to some extent I understand why.
No, but do we have the clip? You said it in a way like it's gotten out of control, I believe.
Well, that Kirk is a son of a gun. He's trying to trick me. He's trying to trick me to say negative things about the people I love.
Because I don't think it's really any, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I kind of always think I've been confident in myself, and that's the nature of it.
No, you are, even when you've had your ego is bigger than it was, but you always had a pretty good size ego.
Okay.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
Well, no, I thought it's just the way that you said it and then seemed to be surprised that it was going to be for public consumption was more like if I said something negative about you.
There's nothing he would like better. There's nothing he would like better than have me say some things that could be construed to be negative about you.
Yeah. Well, it was certainly negative.
Well, if it was, I apologize.
Okay.
How's that sound?
All right. Apology accepted.
But I do love you. You know something? That's the one thing I remember about that conversation. He said to me, when you're done talking to David, you say, I love you. And you notice I always do. You hardly ever do. Your sister always does, and I always say it to her, but you never do.
Love you.
Thank you. I love you.
Okay.
Should I kiss you now?
No. All right. Do you have the clip?
I'm amazed this is what we're talking about.
What'd you think we were going to talk about?
Huh?
What'd you think we were going to talk about?
I thought you were going to talk about me sleeping.
No, that was a cheap shot that Mom sent me.
I would agree with that. Do you understand how that happened, what she did?
She took
No. Let me tell you what she did. There were two. Forget it. Never mind.
Well, tell
Never
me this.
mind.
No,
No,
tell
forget
the
it,
story.
forget
Tell
it,
the
forget it.
story. Tell the
Forget
story.
it.
What do you mean?
It's
forget
nothing
it?
important. I don't want to take up more of your valuable time.
What's happening?
Nothing.
Well, then we'll tell the story.
There is no story.
There clearly is a story because you
There's
were
no
getting
story.
ready to tell it, and then Mom told you to be quiet.
She took 2 pictures of me. I didn't realize she took 2 pictures. Simple as that. And one of them included the subject Crocs. One of them did not. Simple as that.
What?
It's nothing. It's nothing. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
All right, we're going to play the clip. Here we go.
Good. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Human nature being what it is, if enough people start to tell you you're a genius, you start to believe it. And I think at this point, he believes it a little bit.
Oh yeah, the ego is run amok at this point.
No, I don't. You know something? Don't tell him this, but I don't disagree with what you just said.
Yes. Well, I'll text him. I'll let him know.
Are we on the air now?
Yes, I told you we're live to tape.
So you actually preface it with "Don't tell him I said this."
Well, I thought you'd be upset.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So,
well, I
mean that's called talking trash about somebody behind their back.
Not behind. I'd say it to your front.
Then why do you say don't tell them?
You do have a big ego, and I understand why. If everybody's telling you you're a genius, sooner or later you're going to start to believe it. I still do love you.
Okay, thank you. Well, I don't think that's actually true. What else is going on? Anything?
No, I was just going out to get some lunch for your mother.
How concerned are you about Sirius, Mr. Portnoy? Are you worried it's not going to get renewed here?
I'm having trouble hearing you guys. What'd you say? That'll help. Eddie, that helps when you put the microphone up there. That'll help.
How worried are you about Sirius that it's not going to get renewed? Your show is going to be gone.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. All I know is I have a lifetime contract, according to my son, unless I've blown it by what I said behind his back.
Listen, you haven't, but I did maybe say that my ego could never be big enough based on the fact that you have your own radio show with Cousin Murray. There's very few people who could pull that off.
Yeah, you know something? That show is not as bad as you thought it was going to be.
That's what I said. I said that. I think you guys have earned your keep, Cousin Mike.
Thank you, Eddie. Use the microphone, Eddie. I'm begging you.
Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can barely hear you.
That's just because you probably don't have great hearing at this point. But
see, and now you just took that shot at me. Am I offended? No.
That wasn't a brutal shot. All right. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, David. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Thank you.
There we go. All right, just a little bit more here, Dave.
By the way, if we lose, I'll wait for him to go here.
No, I'm not leaving
I'm
until
gonna wait
you're
for
done
you
with
to go.
me.
No, I'm done.
All right. See you later.
Bye. He's still on. If we get rid of Sirius, I'm just gonna do the Office Creed thoughts. I won't even tell him. He'll just have a show to nobody. He can just talk to air. He'll never figure that out.
Unbelievable. But where we left off, best of luck to the Hard Factor crew, right?
Yeah. Honestly.
I saw Tyler O'Day brought back Bagel Mondays.
I saw him talking about that. That was actually a very old school funny clip from the rundown and this was when tensions were sort of high with Dan, myself, and Kevin, but I said I was going to do Bagel Mondays, and they weren't having it. And I think I said, "Well, you're not going to eat it, fat boy," to Dan. I don't think they ever ate the bagels because they didn't want to eat them out of spite.
Protest.
Yeah,
it was a bagel protest. And then I forgot to ask though, do you know who would be replacing Hard Factor on radio by chance?
What do you mean?
Because they do a Sirius slot right now, or are we just at this point assuming you're not working on a replacement because we don't even know if we'll be there?
I didn't know they did an hour on Sirius.
They do an hour on Sirius, Dave. Is there any other big changes that are about to come here for January 1?
No. I think that I think most of the changes have been made.
Last week when we were bashing people too, or when there was the whole Black Friday fest, I forgot to mention 4 people I thought had some really good promo. Will Compton was doing some videos. Vindog was giving away his meme powers. Caleb was putting. O'Day was doing some singing. Was there anyone whose promotion you liked the best?
I thought O'Day was very funny doing the dedications.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man. Go hard in the motherfucking paint.
But yeah, there was a lot of good promotion from those guys. So, and again, I'm not an attaboy guy. That's Rico's problem. But some guys, some people, girls, did very well, and others didn't do nearly as well.
Last thing before some listener emails here, we got a Jetski. Your boy Jetski dropped a rap video.
I haven't heard it yet, but I know I knew it came out. I just haven't watched it yet.
I had to give it a shout out. He had your back in the summer, so.
Yeah, no, I like him. I'm indebted to the white rapper.
There we go. The white rapper. Go check out his video. Toxic. Here we go. We got Nick Dave. Yesterday was Larry Bird's birthday. Have you ever reached out to him to do a pizza review?
I haven't. My guess is he has no idea who I am. He does. I'd love to, but I haven't.
Caden, have you heard from Purely Patricia lately?
Maybe once during COVID, just checking in, being like, hey, I'd love to do something once this is done.
This one's from Derek. Dave, what do you think of the Barstool subreddit? Is it true? Is it a true sense of the Barstool fan base, and why do some employees claim that they don't read it?
I can't speak for everyone. I'll check it every once in a while. It is toxic. They seem to hate Barstool more than they like. But, you know, what would be an example? I almost check it because it catches me up on, like, things people are freaking out about. But no, I don't. Nothing on social media is reflective of the fan base. They're extremes. Like, when you meet people in public, they don't know the YP things going on. Like, that's not, it's just not reflective. Most people, it's almost like Twitter is the world's greatest echo chamber. People go about their days, not obsessed with, like, Barstool or anything in particular. But it is good for me to, like, catch up on what's happening, basically. Like, I know I got a couple tweets when the YP thing broke. Like, are you going to address YP calling you gutless? And I thought it was a lie because I didn't get a lot of tweets about it. I'm like, did he really do that? That was surprising. And then I actually went on the Reddit because I knew if he did, and there it was with like 1 million comments. So it like, if I'm running around, things that are important to like stoolies tend to be on there. But I don't necessarily care about the opinions because they're all negative. And when if I read it, it's like they don't like me. And like I was on there actually recently, and a lot of it's fake. Like people, there's as much misinformation as there is. Now I know what's real and what's not, but I do check it time to time. It's a good catch up.
Does it make you think that the original message boards on the site, you should have kept those? Could have kept everything in one place, or?
No. I mean, not really.
Because the Reddit's inevitable. Like if you're doing things at a level that Barstool is, or there be Barstool, Stern is a Reddit. All these things on TV.
They're fanatical fans.
Yeah, there's going to be.
I will notice the one thing I've seen is they love calling, like, if you buy our merchandise, losers. Like, what loser would buy this? It's like, hey, loser, you're on fucking Reddit talking about Barstool. They're losers. Mirror time, buddy. Like, sorry, they buy a T-shirt and support, and you guys just spend every waking hour trashing us. Who's the bigger loser? I'd never buy Penn stock. Well, you'd be rich.
Next one from Brad. Is it safe to assume that there will not be a 2020 Duncan Awards?
That's if it's sold. If they sell it, we'll do it. And people will probably be dressed to the tens.
Even if it's
Is it nines? Zoom. What's the expression? The nines or the tens? Nines.
You say the tens, though.
I do.
And then last one here, Dave. What's the deal with Lurch from Foreplay? Does he get paid? Does he do it for fun?
He gets paid, not a ton, but he gets paid. And he has, like, I talked to him recently. He has a job he likes, so he doesn't, like, want to go full-time, but he does get paid.
Gotcha. All right, Dave, I think that's it. We might have a little teaser, little monster interview for next week. Is that right? Potentially?
Do I know who it is?
Yeah.
We talked about it before we went on.
Oh, if that happens, yeah, that would be great.
Be a big one. So, anything else?
No.
All right.
Eddie,
All right, everybody.
sorry to cut you off. Just a reminder to listeners, we have our own YouTube channel, Dave Portnoy Show. We're posting full episodes up there and longer form clips. So if you want to watch the pod, hop on there.
Good call, Mike. Great reminder. Great call there. Listen to the audio version first, though, because we get credit for podcasts. So, all right, everybody, that's it for today. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll see you then.